Hi, this is Coach Lisa Bowen from Breathing Retraining Center. And today we're going to talk about one of the most overlooked but absolutely essential parts of breathing retraining, and that's consistency. You might already know what to do. Breathe through your nose as much as you can. Breathe slower. Use your diaphragm. But if you've ever wondered why your results fade, why you can't seem to keep it up, or why calm breathing disappears the moment life gets stressful, this video is for you. Because knowing how to breathe isn't the problem, it's doing it consistently. And that's where transformation begins. So let's start by talking about why consistency matters. At Breathing Retraining Center, we say that consistency isn't about perfection. It's about rewiring your automatic breathing habits. Your breath is driven by your nervous system, not your willpower. So when you practice regularly, even for short sessions, you're teaching your brain and body a new default setting. Calm instead of reactive, efficient instead of wasteful, and balanced instead of anxious. Research from Stanford University and the HeartMath Institute shows that as little as 5 minutes a day of slow nasal breathing or slow, less mouth breathing than you normally do can shift the nervous system towards parasympathetic dominance, meaning more calm, better focus, improved digestion, and even lower inflammation. So in short, the more often you practice, the more your body learns to live there naturally. So why do most people struggle? Because you can breathe differently at any time. It's up to us. We can do it wherever we want. We can do it in the car. We can do it in the bathroom. So what's the holdup? Well, from thousands of clients and students, I see the same four reasons. One is forgetting. Breathing is automatic on purpose. We couldn't do anything else if we were constantly thinking about our breathing. So without a reminder, it fades into the background. And that is the way, in general, it's designed to be. The opposite of that is overdoing it. Once students start practicing, oftentimes they try and do it too much, too soon, long sessions, complex protocols, and they just get burned out. They go from all to nothing. And it's actually counterproductive to practice too much because we want to introduce a better pattern regularly into our breathing, but we don't want to recognize and measure every breath. We're breathing to live, not living to breathe. Okay. Another thing is perfectionism. And you see this all across many habits that people try and develop. You have a goal, you miss a day, you don't feel good about that. And so sometimes, often people quit instead of restart because of perfectionism. Then finally, no structure. Without a system, practice stays random. And in many ways, that is a plus for breathing, that you can do it anywhere, or you can do it nowhere. Random habits don't stick. And that's another reason we want to establish regular times and also track our progress. Otherwise, it's too ephemeral. Breathing can be invisible to us. If that all sounds familiar, take a breath. You're not alone, and you don't need more discipline. You need a framework that fits your real life. So let's talk about the science of habit formation. Neuroscientists studying habit formation, like Dr. Wendy Wood at USC, have found that consistency depends on context cues, not motivation. That means you don't need more willpower. You need the right triggers and rewards. So here's what that looks like with breathing. 1, pair your practice with something you're already doing. Brushing your teeth at certain times of day. Walking your dog, which often also happens at a certain time of day. And then making morning tea or coffee. That's called stacking. And then also keep it short. Even 1 or 2 minutes is enough to strengthen the habit. And then reward yourself afterward, not with a cookie, but with a pause to just say to yourself, yeah, I did that. I chose calm. The brain loves predictable loops. Cue, action, reward. That's how we move from effort to automatic. So let's talk more about, can you create a system for consistency? And the answer is yes. So let's talk about a 5-step system I teach my students for making breathing practice stick. Whether your goal is calmer sleep, better focus, or improved fitness. Okay. One is to pick a daily anchor, just things that you do every day that are regular. When you tie your practice to a moment, you remove the need for decision making. And that's what a habit is, right? We just do it. We don't think about it. It's our normal. So next is start small. Forget 20-minute sessions. Start with 3 breaths, then build to 1 or 2 minutes. Tiny habits rewire the brain faster than ambitious ones that collapse under pressure. It's also important to start where you are. And most of us start at the beginning in anything, and doing something short is good, right? It's just enough. And then we get more stamina in whatever practice we're doing, whether it's exercise or breathing training or even practicing a language. You're tired after a shorter time at the beginning. So this really applies to everything. Another thing is have a plan B. Stuff happens. If your morning gets derailed, have a backup, maybe while waiting in line or sitting at a red light or lying in bed. And think of what your plan B will be in advance. So many of us think that our expectations are going to happen, right? I've planned the day, everything is going to line up just like I thought. But how often does that happen? I mean, maybe, I don't know, 2/3, 3/4 of the time if we're lucky. But that leaves a lot of times, a lot of days when we need our plan B. So think up that plan B in advance. Flexibility beats perfection. All right, next, track and reflect. Use a simple tracker or journal to note what you're doing with whatever criteria you've been using. If you're breathing differently, you're doing an activity, an exercise for 1 minute, 2 minutes, when you're doing it, where you're doing it, track so you can notice your progress, because breathing in and of itself is invisible. And another thing to note is that every moment, every day, depending upon what else is going on, how our health is at that moment, our breathing statistics are going to be different. So it's just good to write it all down and keep track so you can track your progress. This can be as involved or as simple as you want. You can just work with a habit tracker, an app, and just check the box every day. Okay, whatever is going to work for you. Next, and very important, is reconnect with your why. Every few days, ask yourself, why am I doing this? It's really good to connect this to a goal you have, your wellness vision. What are you going to be able to do when you breathe better? You're probably going to feel a lot more comfortable. You're going to be able to do more. Breathing is so integral to our mood, our energy, how well we sleep, how much we can exercise, right? Keep all that in mind. For most of us, it's not about the breathing itself. It's about wanting something else, more calm, clarity, presence in your life, feeling easier in your body. So when you remember your why, the habit gains emotional weight. If you remember nothing else, remember this. Consistency doesn't just come from doing more. It comes from doing less more often. So even 1 minute repeated daily will change your breathing faster than a single 20-minute session once a week. That's the magic of repetition. It teaches your nervous system what peace feels like until peace becomes your default, okay? So if this message resonates with you, if you're ready to build lasting calm, focus, and energy through your breath, I'd love to invite you to start your journey with us. Go to breathingretrainingcenter.com and check out our group membership program called the Tranquil Breath Tribe. And information is also there about private coaching. I'm Coach Lisa, and thank you for watching. Breathe softly, breathe steadily, and I'll see you in the next video.